Brent Braden. I work at Nike. We manufacture, distribute, and sell footwear and apparel. Specifically, I work in a group called Team Sports Marketing, and our goal is to seek, sign, and service colleges all around the country. I was drawn to it because I wanted to work in sport, in and around sport. I didn't even know what that meant. I told my wife one day I want to work in sport. She says, what does that mean? I said, I don't know, maybe be an agent or who knows. And ultimately, I landed just that. I landed in a space where I talk about sport all day, every day. And it's an awesome company. And I really enjoy my coworkers and everything the company is about. A dual degree, accounting and finance. So I started in Nike 16 years ago in finance. And then over time, my role has morphed and now I'm in a marketing team, but I think the finance acumen has kind of moved along with me. And I think that's kind of my forte. I bring the finance background to what I do today. So I think it still applies. I would argue that getting into Nike Adidas is here in Portland too. And so we have our biggest competitor right here in town, and they're hard companies to get into. Just by nature, difficult. A lot of people apply for every role that is posted, but once you're in, it's you navigate your own career and you manage your career throughout. But no, it's as far as how I manage within, once I'm here, I'm dependent upon myself. So my career advancements 100% dependent on how I do, act, think. And so I know we have certain internship opportunities available. I want to say it's less than 200 total internships every summer. I think those are incredible opportunities if you can obtain one. I think they're very hard to obtain. I think a lot of folks apply. As far as recruiting efforts, I do know, I think at the University of Arizona, we actually do recruit specifically for some merchandising roles that we have. And so I think that's one area where again, assuming normal times at some point in the future, I do think that we participate in live career fairs. I have just the craziest story. So I applied for a role and kind of set it and forget it, right? I applied for a role in April, forgot did it online. Thought I had a job lined up with the Portland Trail Blazers. And I'm going to go in and sign paperwork on a Monday morning. And on Sunday night, I get a call late that evening saying, I don't have a job. And the next day, a recruiter from Nike called me about the role. And I remember I thought I was like Vince Vaughn in any Vince Vaughn movie where I'm laying on the couch and covered in Cocoa Puffs and I'm just angry at the world. But I calmed down quickly and I had this conversation with this recruiter and she brought me in to a temp job. And I think that's a really good way to think about getting into Nike. You have to get in, with whatever means possible. So I was a temp in global finance for 2 months. And during my time in that role, I had a cup of coffee with a guy. We argued for 55 minutes about whether he was a Red Sox fan, I was a Cubs fan. This was 2005. The Red Sox had just won a World Series, literally 55 minutes back and forth. And at the end, he says, I have a job you might be interested in. I said, what's that? He said, senior financial analyst, US sports marketing. And I said, yeah, I'd be interested in that. So I applied, I interviewed, I got the job. And then my career has just kind of developed over time. I've had 3 finance jobs, 2 strategy jobs. Then I ran Nike's Olympic and Paralympic efforts to and through Rio from a sports marketing perspective. And then for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been involved in college sports marketing. So I'm excited to partner with the mentorship program. I wish it existed when I was a student because I think back to the opportunities that I thought I could handle myself, and I could have used a little more help than what I made myself available to, and to be fair, what may have been available then. So if I were a student and I could go back and do it now, I would utilize career services. I would utilize mentorship, probably to the extent possible. I see absolutely no harm in doing either. And I have a 14-year-old and I'm already impressing upon him that is what he is going to need to do when he gets to school. I recommend to students that they utilize the services to the extent possible.